YouTube? I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, typically going on a little bit early today because I wanted to showcase something I thought was super stinking cool that I did not know about GameFound, and I imagine if I didn't know about GameFound, there's quite a few other people who didn't know about it, and that is going to be something I'll show you right here on X-ODUS Rise of the Corruption 2nd Edition. And no, I did not schedule this to be ending in 3 minutes so that it would be like right as this launch it would. In fact, it was supposed to end before now. However, they have a system which I believe was something that BackerKit was doing first, and maybe even Indiegogo. I'm not quite sure because I don't like to go there. But we're checking out X-ODUS Rise of the Corruption 2nd Edition. It raised $227,000 from Board Game Inc. A fully revised sci-fi cooperative game for 1 to 4 players explore a decaying galaxy, confront an unstoppable force, and rebuild the only weapon that can stop it. X-ODUS 2nd Edition. Features streamlined mechanics, faster setup, stunning new visuals, and deeper narrative immersion. Everything you love, now rebuilt from the ground up. Love that description there. I feel like that's how you're going to get me excited as the 2nd edition. Of the 2nd edition, if I don't know about the 1st edition. Hopefully there's like an upgrade pack for the people who are getting left behind. Looking at the main image, you know, it's a little bit harder to judge this one because it's got the 210 in the middle, but it doesn't look great. I box, and then like it's zoomed out some of the components, which is odd because I can't really make out the components when you do that. I think it's to make the box look bigger. I don't know. Main image sucks, at least in this current form. But then again, that seems to be par for the course on GameFound because they're stupid squares. As always with the video, oh, but this is what I'm talking about. So the end game is in process. Each new pledge or upgrade resets the timer, extending the campaign's lifespan through the dedication of backers. Very cool idea, especially if you're like, yeah, we're at 270,000, we hit a stretch goal, and it's like, fine, I'll go to the Deluxeified if it's there when I check at lunchtime, and like you can extend it. That's a really neat concept. Yes, it can be gamed. Yes, there's probably like people that are abusing this, but at the end of the day, they're abusing it most likely by adding more money to the campaign. So I'm sure GameFound really doesn't care. And do you care? I don't. I love the idea. I'd give GameFound a third of a point grade bump up, but that's not how this works. So let's see what they did to raise $262,000. As always with the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? That's what you need to convince those Kickstarter backers. Let's see how they did it. Was that not auto-scrolling?
A millennium ago, the precursors ruled the galaxy. They harnessed untold power and bent space to their will.
Theme. Cool.
But they
Space
went
theme.
too far.
Yeah.
They opened a rift into another dimension
Oh my gosh, too far,
and freed an ancient evil, a
Wow.
festering corruption, whose accursed legion sowed death and destruction.
Your theme is not worth 25% of your video. Oh, space people. Oh, they went too far with science and did something that screwed stuff up. That's not worth 30 seconds. Come on, no, there's still a lot of scroll. But just get to the point. Get to some components. Get to some gameplay. Get to anything.
Midst of their empire. After countless sacrifices, they managed to seal the rift and the corruption away. But for them, it was already too late.
Oh, man.
The desolation was complete.
Wow.
Their civilization is now lost to the ages, and yet their legacy endures. Brave adventurers are reopening old ways into the unknown territories, unaware of the dangers lurking.
Okay. We tore a hole in space. We fixed the hole in space. Now people are going back to the hole in space to see what's in the hole in space. That was not worth 1:06. Okay, come on. Components. Oh!
A group of adventurers.
Modular system. Okay. Cool components.
A galaxy at war.
Okay, cards. Cardi. Okay, like that. Ship customization.
An ancient evil. Wretched legions of enemies. Fearsome avatars of evil.
I don't know how I feel about the subtitles over you talking when the subtitles are different from what you're saying. Actually, I do know how I feel it. I hate it. Let me know what you think about that.
One
This is definitive accidents.
Prepare for the rise of the corruption.
from everything about that video, if that feels like, yeah, I'll catch that one on DVD. I'll catch that one on streaming. But they raised $262,000, which tells me that this was probably a hidden gem that's now going to get better. I'm going to guess that's why they made so much money. I don't think it's from that video. All right, so 1 to 4 players, 90 minutes, ages 14 plus. Maybe it's their track record. Let's see what they've done before. Fractal, Beyond the Void. Oh, no. Yes, they did Fractal, Beyond the Void. I think I've heard of that one. All right, so... Hello, is the base game contained in the Beyond the Void box? All I receive is Beyond the Void box and the Autonoma box. Thank you. You ever get this figured out? Happened to me, too. Cool. No. I'm going to guess by the 8 months lapse, no. I still haven't seen out my copy of the game. Not sure if it was already shipped. If it was, no problem. Still waiting. No news yet. Great customer service. Good stuff. We get to play the bad customer service game where we see how long it's been since you checked in on your project. So, it's years. I missed the pledge manager. What now? U.S. backers received theirs. Oh, hey, there they go. So 3 years ago, and that's 2 years ago. So that's probably why they're not in here. It's not huge. I mean, they only have. This doesn't look like a massive project, is what I'm trying to get at. I don't. How many people back this? Oh, that's because we're on GameFound. Yeah, okay. It's like what? We're gonna need to look at the Fractal Kickstarter, maybe that's why they're not responding to the comments. Because who would think to respond to the comments of your GameFound when your project was on a Kickstarter? That's probably why I've heard of Fractal. I probably covered it. $491,000. All right, so Board Game Inc. Let's trick out that track record. See why you're running into GameFound. All right, so you just did X-ODUS and Fractal? Okay. So make sure people got the original X-ODUS. And let's check out Fractal. Make sure people got their stuff. 4,000 comments. That's scary. Hi, everyone. I just uploaded a solo playthrough versus 2 autonomas. Neat. That's cool. Like that. And then information about producing the game in other languages. Just crack this open. Gorgeous. My copy traveled all the way from the distant galaxy of Chile. Can we please get an update on what's happening in New Zealand? Okay. Sorry about that. It looks like good customer service there. People got their stuff. Cool. So this is their 3rd project. Can you do it? Yeah. Firm check mark there. It looks like people got these things. Would have been awesome if you could find a way to merge the 2 games. I played my first copy of this finally. Had a lot of fun. Made mistakes, but happy with this. Okay. So can you do it? Check mark. Yes. I love that I get to say that. I'm not worried about that at all. Do I want it? No. No, no, no. Not in any way, shape, or form. I don't feel convinced. Looks like a generic space game that you didn't do it for me. Hopefully it'll do it here. So 7.7 on BGG. I don't know if I'll feel about the number. I feel like the rating just makes it a lot more, like it just means more to me personally. Because, I don't know. Let's see. X-ODUS Board Game Geek. You told me it's 7.7. Doesn't mean a dang thing to me. Let's see where that's ranked. Is that 13,000? Is that 8,000? Is that 12,000? Holy crap, that's 3,800? Yeah, that's why you got 200,000. Put some damn respect on your name here. 3,300. That's rock solid, especially if you want to cherry pick and say, yeah, it's the number 1,600 strategy game of all time on Board Game Geek, right? Because most people will be like, wait, does he mean just the number 1,600 game? And when really, we would both know that it's just your cherry picking statistics, but it doesn't matter. You're closer to getting money than the 7.7, I think. Or have both, honestly. Because I'm sure there's some people like, no, 7.7, that means something to me because that's how I use Board Game Geek. Both feel like they would be good there. Fully rebuilt, deeply refined, excellent. Joined 6,000 captures. Have already ventured into this. Quotes. Bingo. That's what I want here. If this is already a 1st edition and you're just polishing and refining and making it better, this should not be hard. Like, honestly, I hate that video even more. I absolutely despise that video. I think that was a god-awful waste of the first minute of time. Get to the point. Tell me how great the original game is. Tell me what's new about your new game. Don't talk over your subtitles. That whole video just... blech. The 2nd edition has so many changes. It's practically a whole new game, rich with variety, upgrades, and emergent stories every time you play. Okay, that's cool. What is X-ODUS? Wow, now I'm like, it's already the 3,300th game of all time, and you're saying it's a completely different game. That's good, I hope. Why back now? I'm sure there's some text here. I didn't care. Exclusive best price, no retail release. Just hit me with that price. Returning backer, I know it's gonna be high. Wow, that's not bad at all. $81. So obviously that's not the one I want because I'm not a noob. But $81 is a great price, and honestly, I go back to that main image and how garbage it was. I think you put 81 bucks on there. That is not a high price at all for a massive space game, even though, you know, component-wise, that's you're not... Components don't look like the calling card here. Like, everything looks nice, but it doesn't look like a... You get what I'm saying? Okay, so now... Command your fleet with style and presence. So now we got 300 people getting the unnecessary miniatures, but still cool, good, because once again, I mentioned this before, when you're talking to a manufacturer, generally the print run for things such as miniatures packs and play mats and like token upgrades and stuff like that, you have to hit less of a threshold on how many you need. You need to say 500 or 1,000 to manufacture the game. But if you're just trying to do, you know, say play mats, it's just like we could do 80 or 50 or 100, whatever the number may be. So that's one thing to always look into with your manufacturer. I don't know why I brought that up, but it's just a tidbit. Ooh, Command Edition. This is the fully fancified one. I don't feel like I was sold that at all. Yeah, just don't feel like it was sold to me well. I don't feel like why I need to pay double the price to upgrade the components for the game that I didn't think you sold me very well on. Complete Edition. This one has 467, so that's good. That is the largest one. But it's, you know, I'm sure they'd rather have less than 156 here, and I feel like most of the time this number is probably lower, and then these numbers are a little bit higher. But really, kind of, I'm not a big fan of how they did it either. It's kind of a la carte, but still, 500 print run. They made all their fancy extra stuff, and at the end of the day, I imagine part of the reason why this is doing so well is because you've probably played a Kickstarter game at someone's house and been like, man, that game is great, and then tried to find it and be like, it was on Kickstarter, now I can't get it. And I imagine that's what a lot of these people are. I have my buddy Brandon is where I play a lot of those games. Thursday nights, and I'll be like, oh, what's this? I'll be like, this Kickstarter's really great. And I'll be like, God, how do I get this? I can't. Awesome. So that's Forged in Light. What is this? Miniatures receive the Sundrop treatment. Okay, at 2,000 backers. Oh, I do love the fact that we have numbered stretch goals and people stretch goals. I feel like that's always exciting. I like social stretch goals personally. Any way that you can get me more excited and more engaged. Shine of the Void. Spot UV finish, the Dormant Awakening. Rise the Corruption from a new angle using the same rules and components, but with a new, different rhythm of tension. So it's a variant. Okay. And I'm not knocking that. Like, I always recommended that. Like, if you have extra space in your rule book, it's like, yeah, you can put a variant in there as like as a stretch goal. It's like, it's not most people's favorites, but it's still a stretch goal. Hostile Protocols. Ooh, yeah, this is great. This all looks good. It looks like we're hitting tons of these. I'd put these up higher, honestly. Like, I go back to that main image and how bad I thought it was. I feel like this would have been a great one to be like, yeah, this is the end of the line. 27 stretch goals. Get the whole shebang here. You know, 80 bucks. Either way, I want to play it after seeing... Yeah, I just don't feel like you did a great job of selling to me at all. And I'm sure, like, all it takes is just go through some of these quotes from the original. And I know it's a different game, blah, 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 but... Oh, that's Fractal. Let's see how that one's rated as well. I am curious, because that's one thing that I don't feel like they spotlighted well. Was the game, or was their track record as well? So let's see. Board Game Inc. Is that one highly rated as well? 3,800 and 4,100. Yeah, that's really good. Like, that honestly gets me... That gets me excited for this game. Because if you're batting around 3,000 to 4,000, that means your game's great. That means most people think your game is very good to great. And if this was already that good and you have now refined it and polished it and made it... Yeah, I definitely feel like that would have been the play. Put some more respect in your name. So this is... Yeah, like, you mentioned it like 6 times, everything different, but you did it in text. Like, instead of wasting a minute on your stupid, overdone video that feels like more like a movie trailer. And that's not a compliment. That's not. For first edition owners, the bones are the same, but there's enough new stuff that it feels like an evolution. Will. It's a good one. It's a good quote, Will. He's also a very funny guy, by the way. Redesigned, spacious, clear, 52 pages of comfort, not complexity. The rules are streamlined, but now presented with more breathing space, clear examples, and helpful visuals. Easier to read, easier to learn. The words that just came out of my mouth, I believe, are more exciting to most people than the first minute of your video. Scientists got too sciencey with space and ripped open a hole, and there's bad stuff, and then we closed it, and now we're back in the hole. Yeah, or you know, they completely redid the rule booklet. There's so much more space and visual examples, and it turned a great game to an even better thing. Like, oh my gosh. I feel like just the what is this? Wow, that looks awesome. I didn't see that in the video, or if I did, I didn't pay attention to it because I was too busy trying to read subtitles and listen to you. Look at this. Yeah, look at all the great stuff here. You're telling me that was, like, so did someone at the company be like, hey, maybe we should have one of those cool shots where we show off our nice organizer, and someone else is like, no, theme. Like, seriously, there is so much amazing stuff in this campaign page that is just completely invisible on that stupid video. 2/3 of a point grade bump down for the main image in the video. I'm lumping them together. I feel like it's such a bad first impression on what otherwise should be just, like, this is money. Like, that game is $80. Count me in. I'm sure the shipping's going to be stupid. It's going to be like 20-something. We'll be up over 100, but still, that looks fine. Stretch goals. I know we already talked about them. So we have a blurb here about stretch goals. Super far removed from the actual stretch goals. We have the pledge levels, which, you know, we already kind of went over with the rewards, so now we're just being redundant. Like, combine them, convert the currencies too, because Game founded it up here for you. Now it's just annoying, because the majority of the people who are going to back this are probably from the United States of America. And if you would like to see... Oh, are we still on Kickstarter? Dang it, I was going to say, because on Kickstarter we can see, yeah, let's see. Fractal Kickstarter. I know it's not the same thing, but... like, I just love to check. I always love to check. That's why I love the community tab so much. This is the, yeah, 1,546 to France, 556. Doing it big, France. Always doing it big. Love you, France. You're awesome. Still, we're dominating. So, convert the currencies. So this is what all the stuff is in. Cool. Who's using this? Who's using this? I feel like we already figured it out up here, right? Like, it just... And that's one of those things, like, GameFound could feel very clunky because they make you have the useful information. They're not like, they essentially treat you like a child. And they're like, yeah, we know you're so incompetent that you might not actually put pledge levels in your story because we see it all the time on Kickstarter. So we're just going to put it in there. But then that means when you do it yourself, it just can lead to clunkiness, which is, it's interesting. So a preview, whatever. Easy ship levels up in a totally different way with its own unique deck of cards and mechanics, tons of variety and replayability. That's cool. Just let me know each ship level. That's neat. Okay, I kind of like that. I use that font. Here's in a proper co-op, tense, punishing, and immensely satisfying when you finally seal that rift. I didn't realize it was co-op. A very satisfying space crawler, exploration, dice chunk, and probably just, I forgot. Fast ship leveling, all clicked together. I'm kind of over it. I just want the price. The motivation, blah, blah, I'm over it. What do we got? Just hit me with the price. Shipping price. There we go. So, Germany, Europe, rest of Europe, US continental. Owie. So, 16, like I said, about $100. Okay, it's fine. Kickstarter, reasonable. Click to see the details. Good stuff. And it will get to you September, October. So, Spiel next year, roughly. A lot of extra stuff. Man, that was just... oh, boy. That felt like 10 pounds in an 8-pound bag. No, 7-pound bag. Just too much. Just redundant and not focusing on the important stuff. And I feel like you just started off bad with that video too. Just because it looks like a great game. But I really had to go looking to like find all the information about why it's a great game. I had no experience that drive on Endgame. Wow, I'm pretty and happily surprised as well. I had the extra, yeah, because it actually shows how much they raised in the endgame too, which is really stinking cool. Like I said, GameFound does what Kickstarter doesn't, and I love it. And the purchase of Indiegogo, like low key, if they can get Indiegogo polished enough that people don't treat it like the cesspool of just god awfulness that it is, if they can just polish it up a little bit, essentially be running two companies that are crowdfunding instead of one. It's very interesting. Deleting an add-on from your pledge and submitting. Yeah, cool. Let's check out the updates, give it a grade. Closing Horizons. Hours left, 200K reached, endgame unlocked. Good for them. They got 200K. I think they were well above that, right? Were they like 240, 250? 260. Dang! 7,000 in the extended time. So cool. Updates. Yeah, we can't see the engagement on these. Final grade. Do I want it? Yeah, I do. I do. Not because of your video. Not at all.
A millennium.
Just so much.
Seal the rift.
Blah,
Unknown.
blah, blah, blah. So, literally, there's 50 seconds of meat here. And even in that meat, it's not good meat. It's maybe it is good meat if I were more focused or I watched it again. It just, bleh. But yeah, once I got into it, it looked like, okay, the original version was actually pretty dang good. They do good customer service. Their other games are highly rated. The first one and the other game, which they didn't spotlight. They didn't spotlight any of their awards, which I imagine they were probably nominated for something or other. I don't feel like their quotes were great. I hated the organization of the page. Just, there were so many things. I just hated the cut of their jib, I guess would be the way to say it. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it, and I hated it today. From the top to the bottom. But, bottom line is, they can't be denied because that game looks great. It looks like a great game. It has a reasonable price. And, you know, $250,000 speaks to it. Final grade, do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? Yeah, not worried about it. Looked like you had some rock solid customer service as well. So, yeah, check mark plus even. And then how much is it? Seems fine. Kickstarter reasonable, $100 in and out if I want the standard version, which is all I needed because the other ones were just upgraded stuff. All right, but still, you got more people buying the upgraded stuff. So good for you. Positive grade. I did do a 2/3 of a point grade bump down because that main image and that video I thought just were garbage. So we'll go with a B. Yeah, I think it would be like an A minus. Yeah, we'll go with the B. I feel like a B is right about it there. Let me know what your thoughts are. X-ODUS, Rise of the Corruption, 2nd edition. And let me know, do you completely disagree? Do you think the more Hollywood movie style, just
Rift.
whatever the hell this first minute change of what looked like AI artwork, and once again, not insulting AI artwork, I'm just saying, if you even have the hint of looking like AI artwork, inevitably there's going to be some people who are just going to be like, bleh. And so I just didn't feel like it was the play. And I'm sure they were very proud of that video, but let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. Also, quick show note. If you are following this, you know that there's something crazy going on in the back end of Bowers Game Corner. Something very, very good crazy that could have me potentially ending up going to Hollywood and being rich and famous. Just kidding, but kind of not kidding. It's weird. It's weird. That's going well, though. I can't do any specifics. I can't talk any more about it. But if you are interested in the channel and the Bower part of the channel, very, very good stuff going on in the back end that I cannot wait to talk about one way or the other. Tease. I know it's a tease, but it's probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life if things continue to go well. And I've had a pretty interesting life. So I'll leave it at that. Have yourself a good one. Bye-bye.